Let's go Dolphins! The NFL Combine is officially behind us, and now the real pressure begins for the Miami Dolphins. We are exactly 1 week away from the tampering period, and what I'm hearing out of Indianapolis should have every single Dolphins fan paying very close attention. The atmosphere around this team is tense. The front office knows 2026 is not a year to drift. It's a year that could define the direction of this franchise. But before I go any further, make sure you've already hit the like button if you've been a Miami Dolphins fan for more than 20 years. It's always incredible to see fans from different generations here. And if possible, drop this in the comments. Go Dolphins! My heart bleeds aqua and orange. Now let's get straight to it. The Combine wrapped up with the offensive linemen taking center stage, and if there's one thing that stood out, it's speed. Absolute speed. National Football League scouts saw big men flying down the field in ways we haven't consistently seen before. Logan Jones, considered one of the top centers in this draft class, ran a 4.9 in the 40-yard dash. For a center, that's serious movement. Spencer Fano, one of the premier tackle prospects in this draft, ran a 4.91. Jaylen Farmer clocked in at 4.93 after already turning heads at the Senior Bowl. These are not just big bodies. These are athletic anchors. Logan Jones measured in at 6 feet 3 inches, 299 pounds, and is viewed as a top 100 pick. Spencer Fano out of Utah continues to solidify himself as one of the most intriguing offensive line prospects available. There's also major buzz around the Arizona offensive tackle Max, 6 feet 6 inches, 321 pounds, who ran a 4.95 with an impressive 83-inch wingspan. That type of length matters when you're trying to protect your quarterback in a division loaded with pass rushers. Michael Morris from Georgia, a 6 feet 5 inches, 334-pound guard with 34-inch arms, boosted his stock significantly and could land in the 4th or 5th round. Mark Bell out of Miami, standing 6 feet 9 inches and weighing 346 pounds, currently carries a late day 2 to early day 3 projection. The Dolphins have clear needs in the trenches. If they decide to trade down, there are guard options like the Penn State prospect ranked 16th overall who could fill a major gap. The draft, as we've been saying, is more important than free agency this year. And that's not by accident. It's by necessity. Now let's talk cap space. Right now, the Dolphins are sitting at approximately $772,000 in available cap space. That's not flexibility. That's survival mode. According to the numbers coming out after the new cap ceiling was set, Miami has only 52 players under contract. Teams can carry up to 90 in the offseason. During this period, only the top 51 contracts count toward the cap. But here's the problem. Even signing a few minimum players could push Miami over the limit because those contracts would replace cheaper deals at the bottom of the top 51. If moves are made, and I'm talking about potential cuts like Bradley Chubb, Jason Sanders, Alec Ingold, or others, the Dolphins could free up around $23.9 million immediately. Add potential restructures for Jordan Brooks and Aaron Brewer, and that number could approach $36 million. Extensions for players like Devon Achane could also lower his $6 million figure and create additional breathing room. But here's where it gets controversial. There's strong buzz that Tua Tagovailoa is not going to be traded. Teams around the league are reportedly skeptical about absorbing his fully guaranteed $54 million 2026 salary. The expectation from some insiders is that Miami could designate him as a post-June 1 release to help manage what would otherwise be a staggering $99.2 million dead cap hit. If that happens, the Dolphins would be making a statement. They are ripping off the Band-Aid and moving forward. There's even speculation that the team could explore a quarterback like Malik Willis, but projections have him commanding around $20 million per year. Is that realistic? Hard to imagine Miami committing that type of money given their current situation. Meanwhile, the front office under John Eric Sullivan has made it clear they will not be aggressive shoppers in free agency. Expect role players, depth additions, nothing flashy. And when you scan the projected free agent market, Trey Hendrickson, George Pickens, Tyler Linderbaum, Mike Evans, Bobby Wagner, Cameron Jordan, there aren't many names that scream must sign at all costs. Trade rumors are also swirling. Teams have inquired about Jaylen, Waddle, and Devon Achane, but Miami is not looking to move them unless overwhelmed by an offer. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been linked in rumors involving the Jets and Cowboys. If a trade happens within the division, the asking price would be significantly higher. That's the internal stance. Half the league is fighting cap issues. The Dolphins aren't alone. The Browns, Giants, Falcons, Panthers, Eagles, they're all navigating tight financial windows. So while fans might expect fireworks, this could be a quiet free agency period in Miami. Calculated, strategic, focused on the draft. What makes this fascinating is that the Dolphins are standing at a crossroads. Do they aggressively restructure and try to compete immediately? Or do they absorb the pain now, reset the books, and build long-term stability through the draft? The next 7 days are critical. Moves must be made just to function properly when free agency opens. And every decision will signal what 2026 truly represents for this organization. And this is where things get even more intense, because when you zoom out and look at the full picture, it becomes clear that the Miami Dolphins are not just making football decisions, they are making identity decisions. The front office understands that 2026 is not about headlines in March. It's about being relevant in January. If Tua Tagovailoa is indeed designated as a post-June 1 release, the financial mechanics alone tell you this is a franchise trying to reset its foundation. A $99.2 million dead cap charge is not something you casually absorb unless you are fully committed to a new direction. That kind of move would signal that ownership and the new regime believe ripping off the Band-Aid now is better than slowly bleeding out over the next few seasons. And remember, releasing him after June 1st helps defer that massive hit across multiple years, which softens the blow but doesn't eliminate the pain. Now here's the twist. Even if Miami frees up $23 to $36 million through cuts and restructures, this is not a team positioned to go on a spending spree. John Eric Sullivan has already indicated that the Dolphins won't be big shoppers in free agency. We're talking about adding role players, depth pieces, maybe a veteran who fits a very specific need, not headline-grabbing signings. And when you look at the available market, it reinforces that mindset. Yes, there are recognizable names floating around: Trey Hendrickson, George Pickens, Tyler Linderbaum, Bobby Wagner, Mike Evans, but none of them come cheap, and none of them feel like the missing championship piece. This is not one of those off-seasons where a single signature changes the trajectory of your franchise overnight. The more realistic path? Draft and develop. That's why the combine performances from offensive linemen like Logan Jones and Spencer Fano matter so much. Speed in the trenches translates to versatility in protection schemes and run blocking. If Miami wants to build stability, especially with uncertainty at quarterback, it starts up front. Protect whoever is under center. Establish the run. Control tempo. That's sustainable football. There's also the trade angle, and this is where it gets delicate. Jaylen, Waddle, and Devon Achane have drawn interest, but internally, the Dolphins are not looking to move them. The only scenario where that changes is if a desperate team offers something overwhelming. We're talking premium draft capital. Achane, coming off a fantastic season, would command at least a second-round pick in any serious discussion. Anything less doesn't make sense. Minkah Fitzpatrick is another name tied to rumors, with chatter involving the Jets and Cowboys. Trading within the division would require an inflated return. Miami understands that strengthening a rival is costly, so the compensation would need to reflect that risk. Now let's talk psychology. Fans are used to free agency bringing excitement, splashy signings, breaking news alerts, jersey swaps. But sometimes the most important offseason is the quiet one. Half the league is fighting the cap right now. The Vikings, Cowboys, Jaguars, Lions, they're all juggling numbers. Miami is not alone in this financial squeeze. The difference is how you respond to it. Do you panic, or do you plan? Right now, it feels like the Dolphins are choosing discipline. They know they need roughly $8 million set aside for draft picks. They know minimum signings alone could push them over the cap if they're not careful. They know restructuring Jordan Brooks and Aaron Brewer might wait until summer. Every dollar matters. And here's what makes this week fascinating. What they do before the tampering period opens will tell us everything about their mindset. If cuts start rolling in, if cap-clearing moves happen quickly, that suggests urgency. If they stay patient and minimal, that suggests a longer rebuild approach. There's also the quarterback domino effect around the league. Movement elsewhere could influence Miami's leverage. If other teams solve their QB situations early, trade options shrink. If chaos erupts,